friends, your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my podcast co-host in chaos,
Jhoany. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
All right, friends, today we are joined by a few of the cast members from Natives, the series. It is a show that follows a group of unapologetic, queer Native New Yorkers navigating adulting in the projects of NYC. Let's give it up for the cast and creators of Natives, the series. Welcome to No Ma'am, the podcast, y'all.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Having us.
Yeah, I mean, I know this has been a long time coming, so I'm excited that this has finally happened. But let's jump right into it and let the world know what Natives is all about. So why don't you talk to us about the birth of Natives, what kind of inspired the series, and where did the original idea come from?
Sure, I can start. So the original idea came back in around 2018. I remember being on the train and, I had just really started writing a little bit more because I had been acting since I was 12, but I was more focused on just acting. Then my senior year of college, my acting class was actually a writing class. And so they kind of tricked us and they were like, okay, we want you to learn how to create your own opportunities, but you still get to act in other people's pieces. So it was interesting and it really awoke something in me that I didn't really know was there because I didn't at that point in time. I feel like I wasn't sure what I wanted to tell, the stories that I wanted to tell. And I felt like my stories, I didn't feel like I had anything to tell, honestly. And I think looking back, it's because I saw myself physically represented, but not all of the intersectionalities that I existed at, like I am both Black and Latino. I'm queer man, gay man, but also I have masculine traits and feminine traits. And I feel like at that point, and still a lot of these days, it's one or the other. Latinos don't look like me. And when you see a gay, you see a gay person on TV, they have to be either super masculine or super feminine. It's hard to find that in between. I feel like we're slowly starting to see it, but I was like, where can I find myself in my totality? So I was on the train. This scene came up into my head because my cousin used to have a lot of straight guy friends. My cousin Nikki, which Will, and I would always have crushes on them. And so I was like, okay, well, what if this happened with one of, my cousin's friends? And it was just a scene of Ricky and Izzy coming into the lobby. Ricky is waiting for the elevator and they go into the elevator together. And there's this interaction that hasn't really happened before. And Ricky is giving Izzy some energy that he hasn't really given him before. And so Izzy is just kind of like, what was that? So that was literally the first scene that happened, the only part of it. And I let that fall to the wayside for about 2 years. And then back in 2020, saw a pilot competition. And it was during the George Floyd protest. I was like, what can I really do to help our community? And then I was like, well, I'm a storyteller. And storytelling is a tool that I feel like transcends anything else. It's really how other folks view and learn about cultures and communities. So let me tell this story. And so then I saw a pilot competition. I was like, I'm going to join this. I have nothing but time. I wrote the pilot. I shared it with a few people. Darnell Dudley was one of them. And then from there, he was like, I really love this. Other people said that too. And that's what motivated me to start really creating it. And it's taken on from there.
Well, I honestly had no idea it had let you know that the idea was there for so long. But I love that we're finally getting to see it fruition and come to life because it really is an amazing story to tell.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been years in the making. And each person on this call actually has literally been here the longest. So this is a special moment.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm interested to know what kind of ideas you guys contributed and what did you think when Ronald came with y'all with the idea?
Uh,
Well, from my perspective, I auditioned. Sorry.
Mhm.
I definitely auditioned for the role. I saw it, and then our roles have changed so much since then, I'll say. But when I first saw the role and I saw what it was about, it'll speak to everyone, but it definitely spoke to me as well. But the role, we've integrated so many like different aspects of our personal lives into our characters' lives. So to see the characters change and develop through the story is also great. But just to see yourself represented, like actually represented in the show is amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me, my character shifted a little bit. Like when I first auditioned, my character was not named Kai. My character was named something else. Um, I found out about this audition from like a message on backstage and stuff, just like being asked to audition because I think Ronald told me that the type that he was looking for was someone that I looked like. So he asked me if I would be open to audition. I saw the script, I fell in love with it. And yeah, like I said, my character developed so many different times. Like I said, it was Alex at first, then it turned into Kai. The energy, the characters presence and everything shifted as well when the character developed. So it's definitely been like a huge kind of like 360 from like where we started to like where we are now with each character and well, certain characters, I would say.
Perfect. And I kind of want to know, like, what's one moment in the series that you guys think truly captures what it means to be a queer person or person of color?
I'm for me, I think one moment is I mean I think there are so many moments. I think like my one moment is really this for me is what I think natives is in a way, but it's just also one of my favorite ones because a lot of people just get the moment. Is that moment where Izzy initially comes back and like him and Ricky have this connection and the looks linger for a little bit too long. And so that's not like an obvious in your face moment, but it's a subtle moment that if you know, you know. And I feel like that's what this is created for, you know? So that's like one of the moments where that is like this is a queer New York like story to its fullest because I feel like a lot of people have experienced that. But then I also think
Hmm.
to an episode 2 unapologetically like one of my favorite moments is I mean, I love all the moments when Kai appears because I feel like we wrote the character with this energy to have this magnetic energy to always make you want to watch them. So I think when they come into the deli, the music, everything aligning with that is too like bad bitch energy, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
I want to feel, all the time. But then also the montage in episode 2 opening, that's one of my favorite things too because it kind of just tells you exactly who this character is in like 30 something seconds.
Hmm. Anyone else?
I would say the same. I feel like my character Tiff is very much so unapologetically a stud,
My
and
favorite character, by the way, by far.
wow, thank you. I feel
I happen to
like
know Tiff, so just like.
I feel like it really is always for me, at least spoken to just me as a gay and as a queer, just going through my walk of life, understanding just like different aspects of things and also seeing it from another perspective, I think makes me also kind of maybe question some things of my character. But I feel like also in the later episodes, it really kind of develops into, just how much of a story, a stud may truly have. And I feel like you don't necessarily see that. You just see like kind of this typical version of a stud, and it doesn't necessarily kind of unfold into all the struggles that a queer stud, especially in New York, is actually facing, and all the just kind of different little elements of like the different little things she does throughout the rest of the series, and like smoking and just really embodying that for me I think was also very easy because it came very naturally. But it's also nice to be able to play it out because I don't feel like there's much justice for the average stud. But
Yeah, no, honestly, watching that first episode and watching your character, I was like, I know that person. Like I've worked with that person like for years now. So it was very refreshing to see that representation on a show. I think it was very authentic, and I think the show itself, the reason why I think so many people are resonating with it is because of how authentic it feels. It genuinely feels like, you are watching your friends or people you've met in New York, which is what I love about it. So how important was it for you to tell a story that reflects your lived experiences?
Well, personally for me, I feel like it was important for me to portray this character of Kai because a lot of like non-binary and trans people are not represented in media just living life. You know, when you see a trans or non-binary person, they're associated with either sex work, you know, which I feel a lot of trans people do have to resort to sex work because a lot of people, I mean, things are shifted, but you know, a lot of people originally did not want to hire them, you know. And besides Pose, you know, like I don't feel like there's really many shows that have any non-binary or trans representation properly that's seen authentically, you know. So I think that just like me being able to be myself authentically, wholeheartedly is a rebellion against what the norm is for media and TV. So I think that that's what made me feel so fortunate to at least be able to just showcase this reality because non-binary people, trans people exist, you know, like we're not a monolith. And, you know, we're able to just live lives authentically without having to be overly sexualized or overly characterized in a fake way.
I love it. I think it's why I love Native so much is because I know all of these characters in one way or another. Now that I actually know that I know Tiff, I view it differently now. I'm like, okay, yes, that makes so much sense. And it's really important to tell authentic stories. It doesn't feel like anyone is acting on the cast. It really feels like you tapped into something. And so that's always really important for just especially for Jhoany and myself, right? When we created No Ma'am, it was the idea of representation. Always being able to tell our stories the way we wanted to tell it our way. And it was also just filling in a kind of a void in which there wasn't people who looked like us doing the things that we wanted to do. So why not like instead of getting a seat at the table, why not make the table ourselves? And so, you know, it's always been for us, by us. And I think that's why Natives hit so home, like hit so close to home is because it's the same thing. It is authentic New York City. You have to live in New York City, be from New York City to actually get the references. Going into bodega, getting a certain kind of meal is very New York. So if you know, you know. But have you ever had fans or viewers reach out to share how much the series meant to them? And then any of those stories like really stick out to you the most?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people, I feel like in person, reach out to me, kind of like to me, just saying they're like a fan of the show and stuff. And for me, I always feel honored when I'm in spaces that are Black and queer. Like I was at PoetryCon and I was at all these different events and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like I felt overwhelmed having so many people just come up to me. And I think that like you said, they see themselves, and it's something that is very rare to see in media and TV. So I think that that's mostly the gist of what people are just excited about. You know, like they see themselves, they feel seen, and they just want more of it. You know, so I think that that's like the beautiful thing about being out in public and actually interacting with people that are fans of the show because it's like shocking for me, you know, but it's also heartwarming because I love doing work that is inspirational and is breaking ground and is able to relate with other people.
Yeah, and I agree with all of that. I think that it is you can see it in the comments. Like if you just go to the comments and you just scroll through them, you see how people are resonating with it and how impactful it's been to them. You know, I think one comment that really sticks out to me is like someone said, you know, keep going with this, you're inspiring a generation. And I brought that up before, but I think that's one of my favorite comments because I'm just like, wow, I think in doing this work, you don't always think about it in that way because my goal is just to tell this story. But in doing that, it is kind of defying what other people have shown before or what other people are doing before. And it's resonating with people in a different way that I never even expected. So to be able to have that reach is super cool. And I was actually in Atlanta in August, and we're waiting online to get into this club, and this boy's standing in front of me, and he keeps looking behind at me, and so I'm like, okay, like either he thinks I'm cute or like, does he know me? Do I know him? I'm trying to really think, like, have I seen him before? And he finally turns around, he's like, natives, and I said, yes. And it was such a cool moment because he lives in Atlanta. To like see the reach. And also
Mm-hmm.
again, how it's resonated with people that he didn't have to say anything, but he chose to still like say something. So that means that it had to have some type of impact on him. And he was talking to me about how he's an emerging filmmaker. He's working on this project right now, and it just led into this whole conversation about creating. So it was a really beautiful moment. I think moments like that are really what make my day. But especially the comments of people resonating with it and asking for more of this.
Love that. It does feel good to like have recognition when you're outside, right? And part of you is like, it does feed your ego. It's like, oh,
I
they
love
know me.
it.
Oh, I'm a little popular. It happens to us too. And so we love it because thank you for recognizing us and like and seeing us and appreciating the work that we do. But with that, do you feel pressure to always like keep the authenticity? Obviously as much as you grow, there is going to be people who are going to want to latch on to the popularity of the series. And with that comes that external factor of, do you change? Or do you stick to your guns and keep it the same way and understand that this is the story that I want to tell?
I think really this project was created to be as authentic as possible. So I don't think anything will ever be able to make a change. I think that's the difficulties where we have conversations about like if we get bought by Netflix, if we get bought by, a streaming service, that's when I think those conversations of things changing become a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more realistic, because at that point when they buy something, like we don't necessarily have as much creative control anymore. So it just depends on the negotiation of that. But right now, that's also why we're doing it independently. That's why I chose to do a web series independently, because we can tell this story as much as we want and without anybody telling us or any filters on what to do. And so for the time being, as long as we're an indie series, we're going to keep that creative control and keep that authenticity in all of these characters and the stories that we tell.
Love
I love
that.
that. Yeah, so I'm curious to know, like, how has being part of Native shaped how you see yourself, not just as artists, but as members of like the queer community?
Um, Honestly, I have a lot of moments where I second guess myself and feel like I'm either not doing good enough or I should be doing more. But I feel like honestly being a part of Natives definitely opened up my horizons a little bit, making me feel confident as an artist as a whole, because a lot of people know me as a dancer, because I am a professional dancer. But being a part of Natives now, like when people interact with me, people don't know what I am. Like they just know me as either an actor or whatever. And I think that's a beautiful thing because it shows that you could, thrive in multiple areas. In art, like you don't have to always limit yourself. I feel like a lot of the times people try to like put you in a box. A lot of the times people just tell me you're a dancer and then I'm a certain type of dancer. And it's like, no, no, can I curse?
Yes, yes.
I like to say, no, bitch, I'm like a fucking artist. So it's like, I think that natives definitely open up that door for me. And also, it's nice to just be respected by your queers. Queer.
I
That
Yeah,
mean,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think both make
Respected,
sense.
yes, respected by the peers in the queer community.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's nice.
I would say I feel like being a part of Natives has been such an eye-opening experience as an ally in the community, um, because the show isn't specifically a queer show. I think it's a show with queer people and brown and black people and people from different walks of life. And I think it genuinely represents life. Like, you don't have to be a specific type of person to be around queer people or to be around the queer community. You can just be there. And a lot of people ask me if I'm queer, if I'm a part of the community, and I'm like, I feel like I am a part of the community because I'm so friends with so many people and I love being around them. But I think it just like like normalizes it a little bit more. Like you can be in these spaces, you can support these types of people, and you don't have to change anything about yourself. You can assimilate anywhere, and I think it allows other people who haven't seen that before to be open to it. Like, oh, I don't have to have this like toxic feeling of going into these spaces. Like, I don't have to be gay or queer to go to this event or to support my friend who's in this event. I can just do it. So I
Mhm.
think that's been an amazing opportunity.
I mean, there is an A, you know, allies. So in the LGBTQIA, hey.
I'll take it.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean,
overall it really just enhanced my confidence, I think, as well. I think also it just being such a long journey, like from the audition to us actually filming it, and really seeing all the work that even is happening behind the scenes and like it actually, coming to fruition and seeing all the love that we're getting for it as well. I think it also put me in a space as an artist because I'm a artist as well. I sing and I rap. I think it's also just given me a little bit more confidence for my music as well, and not like putting myself in a box per se, and wanting to really kind of like flourish more, put more things out there, because you honestly never know how people are going to take it. And I think Natives is like the perfect example of that. And I feel like, it's been honestly, I think anywhere from like 5 years or something of that nature for us to really get it to this point of like sharing it with the world and it being so well embraced. So I feel like that portion of things I really just kind of resonate with and have helped me just in life in general.
and just to chime in, I think for me, I would just speak to how it's affected my drive to be a part of the community, and be involved in the community. I think that, of course, I mean, I'm a part of the community, so I've always been involved in it. But I think now I am much more of an organizer, with my queer film festival. But also now I really feel like I have this responsibility, which I brought to myself because, again, it went back to that 2020. What can I do for my community? And I didn't realize that it would turn into something like this, but how impactful I am. Like, how important it is to showcase this kind of work and what that visibility does for the community, especially the Black queer community. Um, I think it's really, I didn't realize how big that was going to be and how big of a weight that was, but I feel I'm like so ready to continue to do that through storytelling, because storytelling has always been a part of me, part of who I am ever since I was a kid. And I didn't know it was going to manifest in this way, but I'm along for the journey, and it's really beautiful to see that you can also, in telling your story, you can be an activist. Because I wasn't intending to be, an activist, or a writer or any of this, but this has kind of found me in my journey, and I'm always going to embrace it because it means so much to me. And also, I started this because I didn't see myself. It was something for me to act in. It wasn't necessarily like I want to be a showrunner. I want to do this. I had no idea about that. I just wanted something to act in that I felt really invested in. And it's turned into this.
Yeah, I think that's great. Um,
All right. So I think now it's time we mix things up a little bit. So we have some rapid fire questions coming up. So I just want you to say, well, whatever comes up to your head first. So we're calling this lights, camera, chaos. And I want you all to participate. So who's the biggest who's the biggest clown or chaos agent on set?
Ooh, that was probably me.
Jade.
I was
I
going to
100% Jade.
Yeah, Jay.
All right. And any funny behind the scenes moments you'll never forget.
Will your eyes.
I'm like, because you know why? Because it's very on brand for us to be in the best part of the interview, and
Right.
his connection just like falls out. So like it's always like this, and I was just waiting until what happens. He'll jump back on, but it's the funniest thing. That's I'm like, you wait until like it's so disrespectful. Like we will be in a good part of the episode, and then they would just like, nope, he would just be frozen, and I'm like, really though? Seriously?
Damn.
But it happens. It literally happens all the time. So that's why I'm not like, it doesn't faze me. But
Circle back
this,
and
yes,
like the new
Okay.
question.
yes,
I'm back, I think. Ooh.
he's not back yet. He's not back. No, he's not back yet. Are you really? He's not. He's not back. But I can ask a question. Is there any funny behind the scenes moments you'll never forget?
Personally, okay. Now you want to go first?
No, I just said there's too many. I'm trying to think.
For me personally, it was the milk scene, honestly. That
Oh
milk
God.
scene, I would never forget. Imagine, like, hey, we didn't even have, I'm not even going to mention any names.
We can measure the situation.
Yes, but that was not milk at first. Like whoever bought the milk, it was actually like yogurt or something. So I was in front of the stove for hours and hours and hours, burning my face off, burning, sweating the makeup off, because we're waiting for this milk to boil when it wasn't milk. So it took a lot longer for it to actually like start to boil, and then we had to make another store run to actually get milk and everything. And what was supposed to be like maybe like a 25-30 minute shoot took like at least 3 to 4 hours, like to film. So that was funny for me because a bitch was hot. Okay.
And I think that was like our day where that was early in the shooting too. And yeah, it took 2 hours to film the boiling milk. We were all like, but it's because whatever that yogurt situation, it took at least 2 minutes to boil, like, or even more than that. It was crazy.
That's why if you like look at that scene, it doesn't look like milk. It kind of looks like cottage cheese a little bit. Like it's interesting.
I would say one of the funniest moments behind the scenes would probably be me and Dewan doing our staircase scene and us going up and down it, up
Yeah.
and down it. And
Oh,
I'm
the way
trying my best not to look sweaty.
yes, and I'm a sweater too, so
And we're in the staircase, so it was like hot, and you know how the heat be. So it was just so hot. It was funny.
I'll have to say for me it was during the montage. There was this pigeon that kept like hanging around, and we named him Oreo, and we were like really feeding him from Crafty, like putting water in a lid, and like he was drinking it from us. Like we were really looking out for Oreo for the whole montage filming. And I just hope wherever Oreo's at in life, he's doing well.
I think I was actually gonna say Oreo, but since you took that one, I'm gonna go and say another one, and that is at the we filmed the dance scenes and a lot of episode 2 at Harlem School of the Arts, and I had connected with the person at Harlem School of the Arts who allowed us to do the filming, and we let them know we're gonna be shooting this project, etc. And she came a few hours into it, and she was just gagged at the whole production. Like I don't know if she thought it was gonna be like less people. We had a big crew, at least like 35 people or so. And so she was just like, "Oh, I didn't know this was gonna be this big. Like, we were taking up the whole entire kitchen area." And so she was like, "Can you take half of the kitchen, please? Because we still have people things that are going on in here. They need to use the kitchen and this and this." But it was just funny how like shocked she was because I just wasn't sure what she was expecting. I told her it was going to be a big production, but listen, I'm happy also that she was maybe underestimated the level at which we were going to be producing this.
Professional.
Come on.
All right. So I want to know who breaks character the most when y'all are filming.
That's interesting. I want to feel like I want to say Jade as well, but I remember one time we were filming the scene in episode 1, and but she didn't know that you could, but she got the script there and is looking at the script, and they're like, "You can see the script on the phone. You have to go to something
I
else."
was like walking because I was walking. I thought like, you know, I don't know what I thought, but then I didn't realize they were gonna be so in my face for the next portion, and I just still had it up. I just still had it up. Just wanted to make sure I was on point, but I guess they could
I
see
feel like
it.
that's such a tough question because we're all so much like our characters. So
hmm
there's so much similarities there.
Okay. And Was there a moment that almost didn't make it into the show that you think was iconic?
Oh, the dancing almost didn't make it.
Oh, okay. I mean, that was a beautiful scene, honestly. Watching you
Thank
dance,
you.
that was amazing. Um,
Yeah, we just didn't have time, honestly. Like we had to like, well, yeah, like Burnett was like, Dewan, like the studio's open, come through. And I was like, okay, I hit a little 1-2 step, in the studio and stuff. And whatever I was improvising, made it, to the episode, but that almost didn't happen. I don't know who advocated for it to happen, or I don't remember honestly, but I know that definitely almost didn't happen.
I think
okay.
it was Brittany. I think she
Oh
was
yeah.
we got to just get it while we can because we wanted to showcase something. Like it's a dance studio, we have to showcase something of them, dancing and wanting to be there. They're putting in the work there. And then another scene that almost didn't happen, but I had to fight for this to happen because there is no way the story could happen without it. Is the final scene with Izzy and Buela and him rubbing the lotion on her legs. We were just really short on time. We actually reshot that. So we shot in 2023, September 2023. We reshot that scene. And there's moments of both, and you wouldn't notice because of the editing. But we reshot that scene in July 2024. Mind you, July 2024, I had cut all my hair off because I was in Puerto Rico. I was a little bit, I was like, I had a Britney moment, honestly, in the best way. But, I don't want to, but I was just like, I need to start fresh. I cut all my hair off. And then literally an hour after, I was like, I'm supposed to have a reshoot next week. And my character has hair. And I literally had a buzz cut. And so I texted the group and I was like, I just cut my hair and we have a reshoot next week. And they were like, oh my God. But we made it happen. All the shots of me that we kept were from the old shoot, even though they wanted to shoot, like they wanted to do a reshoot for some of my shots, but it didn't work. We did what we could. We got some more close-ups that we were able to incorporate. But that was a scene that almost didn't happen and for a variety of reasons, actually, now that I'm talking about it.
Okay. And if Natus had a blooper reel, what would it be titled?
Chaos.
I was gonna say shit happens.
I love that.
I was gonna say something similar. I was gonna say it is what it is.
I think all mean almost the same thing, honestly. And we will be having a blooper reel shortly, so stay tuned.
The
Okay.
word.
And I have one
Uh-oh.
more question. I really want to know what the hell happened to that drunk man y'all left outside the apartment? Y'all just left him out there.
Ooh.
Well,
We
listen,
love you, Marshawn.
yes, we love Marshawn, but the fans, everyone listening, will just have to contribute to our crowdfunding campaign at nativestheseries.com to see what happens.
At work.
Period.
I was genuinely watching that and I was like, didn't he have his friend with him? Like, what happened to him? Did they really just leave him
It's
out
so
there throwing
funny.
up?
It's so funny because so many people find that scene to be so funny because they notice that I leave the character of Adrian. And I honestly I didn't fully notice that. I mean, we did write that intentionally, and how it happened is that scene was actually supposed to be it wasn't supposed to be the end.
Mhm.
It was supposed to be like right after and we were end on the friends hugging. But we were in the writers' room and we were thinking like, how do we end this with somewhat of more of a cliffhanger? Not and that's not the biggest cliffhanger, but it makes you want to come back. And
Mm-hmm.
so we switched the order and it landed really funny. And so we were like, okay, this is how it's going to happen. But then every time I watch it, I don't notice, but I think because I'm in the writer's mindset, but then I'm also in the actor's mindset. In the actor's mindset, and also almost in the writer's mindset, Izzy doesn't give a fuck about this kid right now. He's the reason that he's late, but
Hmm.
take care of him. So he's more like caring about his friend. As long as the friend's good, I gotta save this relationship right here because I don't know you from nowhere, but I know
Mm-hmm.
and so
Yeah.
that is kind of where that's like really his intention and why he doesn't second guess it. But people love that scene. Like whenever it plays, like people always have a reaction, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't. It's one of those moments where you didn't expect it that was gonna land that way, but it's so cool to see.
Yeah, poor thing, child. He throwing up in the hallway. It's a lot. But that brings me to my next question. And Ronald, this one is for you. So if you can send one message to any of the Hollywood execs who are watching Natives, what would it be?
Oh, pick us up. Listen, pick us up. Hit me up. Mentor us. Like,
Okay.
get us onto a network. But asterisk. Let's figure out a way where we can retain majority of creative control.
Love
But
that.
also,
Pick us up.
Right.
That's
Pick us
it.
like let's
That
Okay.
part.
Right.
explore
Listen.
at the season's happening.
Hello, right? We say that with the podcast networks too. We're like, listen, if y'all want to pick us up, just let us know. But it's still going to be no, ma'am. We're not changing that. So,
Right.
all right. So, Jhoany went through round 1 of rapid fire. Now it's my turn to do round 2. So, everyone ready? Okay. So we're calling this native tongues. See, I told you it's going to be very on brand, right? Like,
Ooh.
we're good. Yes. So, first one is, what is your favorite line or quote from the series?
Mm.
Give it
Welcome back,
time,
boo.
boo.
it's funny because we were
And
literally talking about
Bruce.
that line last night.
It's so crazy that everyone loves that line. And that wasn't written originally. That was just like improvised, right?
I think so. I'll have to go back, but I think so.
That was so funny.
But there's two separate lines that we just said. Jade said the welcome back boo, which is I didn't realize there was two boos actually. Though that's
Okay.
that's so, but I do like that one. But the one that I was mentioning too is the give it time boo in the second episode because that one is just so.
Give it
It's
time
just
was so funny. We all have that person at work, at school, and it's like, what did you just say?
Give it
Trying
time.
to be down, just trying to be down. And it's like, boo, you don't even know what you're talking
Love that. Okay. So, which character are you most like in real life?
I feel like we're all gonna say like our characters. If I had to
about.
choose, we got to choose a different character though. Let's choose a different character.
Yeah.
That's
I
harder.
feel like I would say I'm probably more like Jazz's character because I do think like in my friend group I am the connector and like if people are going through shit like they're gonna be like telling me and then I feel like I gotta I have an allegiance to my friends so we gotta bring in like guys let's just come together come on now like
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say jazz too, actually, because I don't wanna give too much, but I feel like I can be like a workaholic, sometimes, and I definitely have to like censor myself and be like, you know what, like, what are you doing for yourself right now? How can you prioritize yourself and your dreams a little bit more? So I'm not gonna give too much.
Love
Without
that.
giving too much away, I feel like I relate to a different character, but we haven't seen her yet.
Okay.
Ooh.
But besides her, I think I relate to Kai a lot. Just like the work ethic, just trying to be on your grind, have a better, like, stick to your boundaries. People did you wrong. You're not trying to go back to that. I feel like I get Kai.
Love that.
Sakai too, as an artist, like just more so connecting from that perspective for sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now my next question is, what is your go-to comfort food after a long day on set?
any kind of pastry. Like I love pastries. Give me a donut. Give me like, a almond croissant or something like that. After a day
I
on
will
set,
say
stressful day.
Ronald feeds us very, very well. I will
Mhm.
let you know that now. I don't know what the name of the restaurant is, but we always eating some good Hispanic food, whether it's Dominican, it's Puerto Rican. I'm always eating good on set.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make a native New York like restaurant list for the people to like try
Yeah.
because I've eaten good these last couple of years, I'll tell you.
Oh my God! Wait, y'all need to send me that list because I'm a foodie and I need to know what y'all were eating.
So
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
good. So
Those
good.
are great.
Okay. So if your character had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, mm.
Sorry by Justin Bieber because
Oh,
I feel like that
That's
fits
good.
the
oh.
character.
Discriminating.
Did I lie?
Um, I'm thinking Doja Cat, best friend. She a bad bitch. She a real bad bitch. She
Oh,
no
best
money.
friend.
She yes, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that gives jazz.
Okay.
I would say maybe like anything Beyonce, like Heated. It's giving Renaissance though. Renaissance
Mm-hmm.
album,
Yeah.
Heated, Move, something like that as
100%.
like a theme song.
I will have
Love
to
That's
it.
say my own
Yeah.
song, "Lights Out" by Jade is dope.
Mm-hmm.
All streaming platforms.
go
I feel like
Plug,
that's
baby,
definitely.
play it.
Okay, yes.
Right.
I
As you
feel like that's
should.
definitely my like go-to theme song for sure.
two
Okay.
fun facts real quick that I want to plug. Lights Out is the song that ends episode 2. So if you like that, that's Jade right there. And then also, Dewan mentioned Move. So fun fact that the montage in episode 2, when I originally wrote it, I originally wrote the song Move to be that montage song, but we can't afford Beyonce, so we had to get something similar to it.
Sure. All right. So, what would be your dream guest star or celebrity cameo for the rest of the season and season 2?
I'm gonna sound so random, like so random, so don't judge me, but I love McConan. I feel like he would be amazing on Native. This is so random.
That is so random.
I saw him on TikTok live the other day and I was like, imagine if he was just like on a guest like episode. Like that would be so funny.
Period.
You
No, I
know who
love.
I would love? I would love a Cleopatra.
I
Yes.
love her
She would
down.
be. I would like. Come on, she got to be like a bestie or something. She got to be your girlfriend, Jade. She's
Yo, that's
Tiss's girlfriend.
because I
That
was
would be
about to be
tea.
like, yes, that's
That
T.
is
That's
actually
T.
really
'Cause
good.
that's what it was gonna give for me for sure. I feel like definitely on the girlfriend tip, like that would be a cool, yeah. Cleopatra, love her down.
hmm
For me, one of the influences that I really want, that I really love, that I want to see potentially on it, which that was a good person though, Joanne. I hadn't thought about that before, but now I'm like, but it's New York Nay. Like on Instagram, she's New York Nay, and she just is the most New York person, I feel like, and I love her so much. Has such funny videos. If you don't follow her, you need to follow her. But yes, I feel like that's the New York energy down.
I love it. I feel like a lot of those characters are very like niche. And so I think that's really good that you all had like I thought it was going to be like, oh, Beyonce or something like wild out there, but no, you guys were real
Listen,
like
very
niche.
hmm
All right. And my last question is, in one word, describe Natives, the series.
real.
Mm.
I would say bold.
Impactful.
Authentic.
Yeah, I think those are all great words to describe natives.
Wait, I want to hear your guys' words.
Huh. I, I mean, like I'm like the words that are coming to my mind are the words that you guys used already. So I'm trying to think of something different. Um, well, it's technically not one; it's two. But like I think like self-reflection.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I say unapologetic.
Mm.
Right, like that's the first word that comes to my mind when I think of the series. It's like each one of you are your own selves. So sometimes it probably doesn't even feel like you're working or being a character. That is the testament to the authenticity of the show, because it makes it just easier to have fun and connect. And I think that's also why so many people can connect to the show. Fun fact, I would say back in the day, maybe like my baby gay days, I would be Izzy, look at the trade in the projects and be like, okay, I know, like, yeah. And then, like, right. And then looking at the trade and I see the trade looking at me and then we like, right. But now I think I'm more like Kai now, like protecting your boundaries, like understanding who you are, right? And just like being grounded in oneself. So I think that's really great that I can also see myself in some of these characters a little bit in all these people.
I love that.
All right.
No, thank
Yeah.
you. How about you, Jhoany?
I very much see myself like Izzy's character, like very much
Oh, you are
kind of
Izzy.
lost, honestly, kind of lost in what he's trying to do, and trying to figure it out, but then also on the apps and stuff. But that that's kind of who I see myself as and connect with the most.
Yeah. And a little bit of Adrian, because I would surely leave your ass throwing up in the hallway.
Oh, very
So-
much Adrian, very much Adrian, very much. Now let's have one more drink, and then I'm throwing my guts out in the toilet,
Yes.
in the bar or wherever.
Very
we are.
much so. All right, y'all. Well, that conversation really reminded us why it's so important to create spaces for us, by us, because at the end of the day, representation isn't a trend, it's a revolution. So thank you to the Native team for leading the charge and being trendsetters. So make sure you follow them on Instagram at Native Series and support their crowdfunding campaign. So Ronald, here's your time to like shameless plug what it's all about, how they get it, go for it.
Absolutely. So right now we are raising $50,000 on Seed and Spark in order to create episodes 3 and 4. So if you enjoy Natives, you resonate with it, you want to see more, head to nativestheseries.com and make a contribution. Any amount makes a huge difference. We need to reach at least 80% of that, which is $40,000 in order to keep anything. Otherwise, we don't get any of it. So again, if you support queer, Black, independent art, head to nativestheseries.com and make a contribution. It can be, $10, it can be $10,000. You let us know what you'd like, and we're glad to take it.
Love that. And friends, as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. And until next time, bye everyone.
Bye.